Picture this: Norfolk, Virginia, 1997. A brutal crime shakes the community. 4 U.S. Navy sailors confess to a horrific murder they didn't commit. Sounds impossible, right? But this is the disturbing true story of the Norfolk Four. These weren't hardened criminals. They were Derek Tice, Joseph Dick, Daniel Williams, and Eric Wilson, dedicated servicemen with clean records. Yet somehow, each of them ended up confessing to a crime that DNA evidence would later prove they had nothing to do with. You might be wondering, why would anyone confess to a murder they didn't commit? The answer lies in a perfect storm of aggressive interrogation tactics, psychological pressure, and sleep deprivation. These men were interrogated for hours on end, some for up to 24 straight hours. They were told they'd face the death penalty if they didn't cooperate. Eventually, worn down and terrified, they began to doubt their own memories. But here's where it gets even more bizarre. Not a single piece of physical evidence linked any of these men to the crime scene. No fingerprints, no witnesses, and most importantly, no DNA matches. The only DNA found at the scene belonged to someone else entirely, a man who would later be convicted of a similar crime in the same area. Despite this glaring lack of evidence, the Norfolk Four spent years behind bars. Their appeals were repeatedly denied. It wasn't until 2009, more than a decade later, that the truth finally began to emerge. Even then, it took years more of legal battles before they were fully exonerated. This case isn't just about 4 wrongfully convicted men. It's a chilling reminder of how fragile our justice system can be, and how even the strongest among us can break under enough pressure. It forces us to ask ourselves, how many other innocent people might be sitting behind bars right now, victims of false confessions? The Norfolk Four case changed the way we think about confessions in criminal cases. It showed us that sometimes the most damning evidence, a confession, can also be the most unreliable.